Quentin Tarantino, please come to the principal's office for being a douchebag and bullying. That's right, my friends. Our boy Quentin Tarantino, who is a fantastic filmmaker, but not such a nice dude, is in the tabloids again. And it's not for his 10th movie. It is for him opening his mouth where it doesn't belong. This comes to us from Hollywood. They say Quentin Tarantino isn't mincing words. As Pulp Fiction director reflected on best films of the century thus far, he shared why he placed Paul Thomas Anderson's There Will Be Blood as his 5th favorite, explaining that Paul Dano's acting knocked it down a few pegs for him. It had an old Hollywood craftsmanship without trying to be like that, Tarantino explained of the 2007 Western. In an interview he did on December 2nd for the Bret Easton Ellis podcast. I don't know why I'm plugging that podcast. You should be plugging mine. As he noted to Anderson, it was the only film he's ever done, and I brought it up to him that doesn't have a set piece. The fire is the closest to a set piece. This was about dealing with the narrative, dealing with the story, and he did it fucking amazingly. And he's right about that one part. However, there was a part of the oil mining film that he just didn't dig. Get it? He said, There Will Be Blood would stand a good chance of being at number 1 or 2 if it didn't have a big giant flaw in it. And the flaw is Paul Dano. Obviously, it's supposed to be a two-hander, but it's also drastically obvious that it's not a two-hander. He is weak sauce, man. He is the weak sister, the 62-year-old continued. He's such a weak, uninteresting guy. The weakest effing actor in SAG. The Oscar winner even gave his own recommendation as to who should have been cast to contrast Lewis's antagonist. He said Austin Butler would have been wonderful in that role. He added, though, he noted Daniel Day-Lewis shows that he doesn't need a strong foil. The movie needs it. He doesn't need anything. Oh, my goodness. I'm not saying he is giving a terrible performance. I'm saying he's giving a non-entity performance. I don't care for him. Jesus. So, randomly, one of the more prestige directors in Hollywood wanted to single out Paul Dano and say how horrible of an actor he is. And after this came out, we saw a plethora of A-listers come to Paul Dano's defense, whether it's Ben Stiller, the writer of the Batman, or Matt Reeves, or Alec Baldwin, or a lot of people from Sunshine. I'm thinking Eternal Sunshine. The one that he was so good in, Little Miss Sunshine. Okay. You know what I mean? A lot of people came to his defense, and he didn't just crap on them. He crapped on Matthew Lillard and also Owen Wilson as well. We'll talk about that in a second. I want to talk about Paul Dano because this is insane. Paul Dano is one of the best actors doing it right now. Whether it's Little Miss Sunshine, where people finally saw how good of acting chops he has. Whether it's Brian Wilson from The Beach Boys, that movie he was fantastic in. Whether it's Steven Spielberg's dad. Whether it's the Riddler. And then on top of that, he is one of the reasons why Daniel Day-Lewis's role in iconic I Will Drink Your Milkshake worked. Is because he had this young actor, this so unassuming actor that not a lot of people knew about, completely own the role and stand toe-to-toe with the greatest actor of all time. So you're going to sit here on your high horse as a director and completely crap on someone that is completely untrue. Like, not just him as an actor, but in that role specifically, he is also what made that movie great.
Yeah.
When he's saying, I abandoned my boy. The scene, in that scene right before that, when he's like, confess, confess. It was mind-blowing, the performance that Paul Dano gave. And the fact that all these people in Hollywood are coming to his defense just reasserts how asinine these statements are from Tarantino. And it's very, very disappointing to hear. Zach, my friend, I know you got a lot to say. What do you think about this? And then also, what do you think about the people that came to his defense?
Yeah, Quentin Tarantino has been known to be an asshole for a long time, but because he's put out classic films, people have like, oh, he's just a funny, quirky guy. It's just Tarantino being a boy. Boys will be boys. That kind of behavior has been granted for him. While others, when they say anything, even lesser to what he says, get put into the cancel jail real quick. I have for a long time have felt like he just comes off weird for me as a weird person, as a weird creative. Just the way he talks about movies, like he has a superior opinion about them and they are fact. And how you hear how he talks to the people he directs, and even the way with Uma Thurman and almost killing her in Kill Bill, and or was it Pulp Fiction?
For years.
I think it was Kill Bill, the car scene.
No, you're right. Yeah, you're right. They didn't talk for years after that.
Yeah, the Roman Polanski thing. It's just he has a whole plethora of weird shit that he said throughout his life. He says it, he drops out, leaves, then drops a movie, and people forget about it. I think the reason why this is bigger because he hasn't dropped a project in a long time. It's taken him a really long time to do this 10th movie. He keeps canceling it, restarting it, changing the name. He's starting to get exposed a little bit as someone that lifts things off the other projects since the pandemic, where everyone have access to every movie almost in existence and can see the things that he's lifted off other movies. So he's not the full creative a lot of people think he is. And I think he's starting to see that his name is not as relevant in the director talk as it used to be. So he has to come out and lash out on someone. And he thought Paul Dano would be an easy target.
Right, is overshadowing him now, and right, he's getting like, like my spotlight is going away, and he's a narcissist, right?
He's a narcissist, and there's a lot of people making Tarantino-esque films as well. You know, you hear that word thrown around, and people are not hating them for it. You know, the Safdie brothers, the Coens, they've adapted some of that style that he's had. And you know, you start hearing about Nolan, Denis, Ari Aster, Jordan Peele, David Fincher. You hear all these people way before you get to Tarantino these days. So I think he's like, I'm going to pick on the most harmless actor I could possibly pick on.
What the heck?
Which is Paul Dano. And I don't think he thought that all these people would come, because he picked on Matthew Lillard and he also picked on Owen Wilson.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, everyone came out to defend Paul Dano. And I think it was because he specifically attacked him in a performance that everyone's like, what are you talking about?
This was great.
It was great.
It's what made him. It's what made him a star. Like, what are you talking about? And on top of that, have you not seen Prisoners? Like, he is so good.
Oh my God.
Without barely saying a line. And it's so like, good. I think why people came to the defense more, and we'll talk about Matthew Lillard and Owen Wilson in one sec, because I do like those actors. They are very good for what they bring to the screen, and it's bull crap to pick on. As a director, this is the point, I think, of everything, actually. As a director with a big name, why do you feel the need to crap on other actors? Like, where do you get off thinking that that's appropriate, thinking that people will have your back on this, that you are right in every sense of the word you're saying? Like, where do you get off thinking that it's okay to talk crap like that?
And he's
publicly.
not a good actor either. That's what makes it worse.
Yeah,
Tarantino himself is not a good actor. So what are you? You're the weakest actor in SAG, if anything. So what are you talking about right now?
Yeah, you are. And also, Kalel, no.
I think you tied it, and this might be a little bit of controversy, a controversial opinion. I think you tied it a little bit. There might be a little political aspect to this, right? I think it's known that Tarantino lives in Israel. He's married to a Zionist, and there's that aspect there. And Paul Dano has come out to be pro-Palestine, so it might be that's why he picked him specifically as well. He seems harmless. He probably didn't think he was so beloved as much as he did, because we love Paul Dano, but he's not in a ton of big movies in terms of mainstream success.
No, he's selective, and
he's selective.
Not, yeah.
So I think he was just like, I'm gonna do this, and everybody's gonna forget about it, because nobody's really talking about the Matthew Lillard or Owen Wilson thing. So I think he thought he was gonna get bundled up in that, and everybody's gonna think it's funny. And it's just not working out. So I think there's many factors of why he did this, but I think people are going to still watch his 10th movie, but I think it's establishing him as a person is just a terrible person.
It's a terrible thing. It's pathetic. It's low. It's all the things. And I'll just briefly say, because we're going to get out of here soon. I'll just briefly say, Owen Wilson and Matthew Lillard are great character actors. They've been in a ton of stuff where I'm like, they're great for that role. Like, I think Mobius, in Loki, I think Owen Wilson does some of his best acting in that. His new show on Apple TV, I love. The golfing one, I really love. Matthew Lillard has been around for a very long time, and I get happy when I see him, and I'm ecstatic that he's going to be in Daredevil Born Again season 2. So, like, it's just pathetic to pick on these actors who have been in the game for a long time, who are busting their butts to make a name for themselves, and still you have to single them out randomly. It's just pathetic. Now, if he's doing a movie with them, this was a this was a tactic, then this is a brilliant marketing tactic. And I would love to see next movie starring Paul Dano, Owen Wilson, Matthew Lillard. That would be brilliant. But for some reason, I think this is just Tarantino being Tarantino, and it's really pathetic, and it's really sad, and it's beneath you, dude. And I can separate it because I love a lot, like most Tarantino movies. I don't think he misses, to be honest. I love those movies, but the human being, you got a lot of work to do, and knowing you're probably not going to do it. So get your 10th film out and get the heck out of here, bro, because we don't need people like that. Like, build people up. Don't tear them down for no reason.
He is, how old is he?
He's 61.
He's not
62.
He's not changing.
He's a
you know what I mean? Like, at that point, when you get to a certain point, you're stuck in your ways. You feel like you're set in life in terms of your views. He's not changing. He's just gonna be, and he's not gonna stop, right? Like, he's not gonna stop. No one, he's not losing money off any of this. He's just gonna continue to say whatever he wants, and
because he can.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to work with him though after that, or like,
no,
that'd be crazy. You know what I mean? Like, Leo's like, sign me up for the 10th one. I'm like, bro, you don't give a crap. You're talking about the Amazon being cut down. Then you're like with what's his name from Amazon, the owner of Amazon, like at his wedding, like, hey, cut him down. It's like, what? How many planes do you take? Dude, Gervais said it the best. You guys are all hypocrites. You don't know about real shit. You know what I mean? No. So that was unfortunate, but the love that Paul Dano has received after is fantastic. So go see a Paul Dano movie, man. He's great. And enough said. So let us know what you guys think. Is Tarantino POS? Probably yes. Do you like Paul Dano? Is there something to be left, to be desired? Drop a comment below. Let us know your thoughts.